The trailer for The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 Episode 10 has finally arrived, and it's already sending fans into a whirlwind of emotions. In just a few seconds, we get glimpses of heartbreak, tender moments, and choices that could change everything for Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah. This isn't just another episode, it feels like the climax we've been waiting for, where the love triangle, the family drama, and the nostalgia of summer all come crashing together. As we head into episode 10, it's important to remember how episode 9 left us hanging. Belly has been caught between Conrad and Jeremiah for so long, but the tension has never been higher. Every look, every small gesture between them seems to carry the weight of years of love, hurt, and longing. Fans have debated endlessly about who truly holds her heart, but one thing is clear: the story has been building toward a choice that can't be avoided any longer. The last episode also reminded us that this isn't only about romance, it's about family. Susanna's memory still lingers over every decision, every tear, and every word spoken at the beach house. Her presence is gone, but the impact of her love and her loss still holds all of them together, while also pulling them apart in unexpected ways. Her absence continues to shape the way Conrad and Jeremiah see themselves, and the way Belly feels about both of them. Episode 9 showed us glimpses of those unresolved feelings, and now the trailer suggests that episode 10 will finally bring them to the surface. But it's not just the love triangle or the grief, it's also about growing up. This summer feels different, heavier, and more final. The beach house, which once symbolized joy and freedom, now feels like a place where every goodbye could be the last. Episode 9 carried that bittersweet mood, showing us that Cousins isn't just a setting, it's a character in itself. And the trailer makes it clear: episode 10 could mark the end of an era. The sneak peek footage hints at moments where choices have to be made, where words that were left unsaid finally spill out. The looks exchanged between Conrad and Belly, the quiet moments Jeremiah shares with her, and even the silences in between, they all speak louder than dialogue. That's what makes this show so special. It's not just about what the characters say, but how they say it, and the feelings that hover in the air long after the screen goes dark. As fans, we're not only waiting to see who Belly chooses, we're waiting to see how she changes. Will she finally step into her own and make a decision for herself instead of for others? Will she learn that love is not just about who makes her heart race, but who stands by her when everything else falls apart? These are the questions episode 9 left hanging, and episode 10 is ready to answer them in a way that might leave fans divided, emotional, and maybe even a little heartbroken. The trailer for The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 Episode 10 wastes no time. It opens with a shot that feels almost too quiet, the waves hitting the shore, the familiar view of Cousins Beach, but there's a weight in the air, like summer itself knows it's reaching its end. This calm moment isn't just scenery, it's a warning. It tells us that what comes next will shake everything we thought we knew. The next few seconds flash by quickly, but every frame is loaded with emotion. We see Belly standing in the doorway of the beach house, her face caught between hesitation and hope. She's not just standing there, she's choosing whether to step into a future she can control or let herself be pulled back into the storm of her past with Conrad and Jeremiah. The lighting in this shot feels intentional, half shadow, half light, mirroring the two directions her heart could take. Then comes Conrad, his eyes steady but haunted, meet Belly's in a way that says everything. Without words, there's longing, regret, and a kind of love that has burned quietly for too long. The trailer lingers on him just enough for us to feel his struggle. He doesn't just want Belly, he needs her, but he's terrified of losing her all over again. This moment isn't loud, it's restrained, but that makes it hit harder. Jeremiah's moment in the trailer is different. Where Conrad is quiet and heavy, Jeremiah bursts in like sunlight fighting through clouds. His smile, his warmth, his touch, they represent safety, comfort, and the idea of love without complication. In the sneak peek, we see him brush his hand against Belly's, and it's such a small detail, but it carries so much weight. It's a reminder that love isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's simple, steady, and right in front of you. but the trailer doesn't let us stay in the softness for long. The pace quickens, and we see flashes of tension. A heated argument, voices raised, emotions raw. The beach house becomes more than a setting. It becomes an emotional battlefield, walls echoing with confessions and heartbreak. One quick shot shows Belly with tears in her eyes, turning away before anyone can see. Another shows Conrad storming out of the house, while Jeremiah follows, caught between defending himself and protecting Belly's heart. And then there's a final shot, the one fans can't stop talking about. Belly, sitting by the water at night, her reflection shimmering in the waves. She's alone, but the silence says more than any conversation could. It's the image of someone at a crossroads, torn between two loves, but also between two versions of herself, the girl she used to be, and the young woman she's becoming. This trailer isn't just a preview, it's a promise that episode 10 will not hold back, that it will deliver the emotional explosion we've been waiting for since the first episode of season 3. Every look, every tear, every line of dialogue teased in these short minutes points to one truth: the summer of innocence is gone, and the summer of choices has arrived. What makes this trailer so powerful isn't only the drama, it's the way it captures the themes that have always defined the summer I Turned Pretty. On the surface, it's a love triangle, but underneath, episode 10 seems to be about transformation. Belly's journey has never been about simply choosing between Conrad and Jeremiah. It's about discovering who she is when the summer magic fades and real life sets in. The trailer frames Cousins Beach as more than a backdrop. It has always been a symbol of innocence, of first love, of moments that feel endless. But in this sneak peek, Cousins feels heavier, almost like a goodbye. Every shot of the beach house, every frame of the ocean waves, carries the weight of memory. It reminds us that summer isn't meant to last forever. It's fleeting, beautiful, and bittersweet. Episode 10 feels like the embodiment of that truth. Another theme at play is grief, one that lingers like a shadow across every scene. Even though Susanna is gone, her presence is everywhere, in the tension between the brothers, in Belly's indecision, in the unspoken pain that runs through the family. She was the glue that held them together. And without her, they're learning how fragile their connections really are. The trailer doesn't need to say this outright, it shows it in the silences, the looks, and the way Conrad and Jeremiah both cling to Belly in different ways. Their fight for her heart isn't only about love, it's about holding on to the last piece of their mother's world that feels alive. The trailer also makes it clear that episode 10 is about choices. Belly has always been the girl caught in the middle, swept along by the currents of other people's emotions. But here, the question is whether she can finally choose for herself. Not for Conrad, not for Jeremiah, but for her own future. Thematically, this episode seems less about romance and more about identity. Who is Belly beyond the beach house, beyond summer, beyond the boys who have defined her story for so long? And then, there's the idea of growing up. The trailer whispers this theme in every frame. Growing up means saying goodbye to certain things, even the places and people that shaped you. Growing up means realizing that love is not always magical. Sometimes it's messy, painful, and uncertain. Episode 10 seems to promise that this summer won't end with an easy answer or a picture-perfect moment, but with a truth that's much harder to face. Growing up means letting go of who you were, even if it hurts. At its core, this trailer shows us that episode 10 isn't just another chapter, it's the turning point. It's where nostalgia collides with reality, where grief collides with love, and where Belly's past collides with her future. The themes aren't subtle, they're woven into every shot. And when the credits roll, fans won't just be asking, who did Belly choose? They'll be asking, what did this summer mean, and what does it mean to finally move forward? When a trailer leaves us with more questions than answers, it becomes the perfect playground for fan theories. And with episode 10 on the horizon, the internet has already turned into a storm of predictions, debates, and wild guesses. The beauty of The Summer I Turned Pretty is that it doesn't just tell a love story, it sparks conversations that pull fans into every pause, every look, every half-finished sentence. One of the biggest theories is, of course, about Belly's choice. Some fans are convinced the trailer is setting up a long-awaited reunion between Belly and Conrad. They point to the way the camera lingers on his expression, how his silence carries more weight than Jeremiah's words. To Conrad supporters, this feels like foreshadowing, a sign that after all the heartbreak, Belly's heart will find its way back to him. They argue that his love, though quiet and complicated, has always been the one that shaped her the most. But Jeremiah fans see a different story. They argue that the trailer highlights his warmth and stability, that the brief touches and tender moments are proof that Belly might finally choose a love that feels safe instead of the love that feels impossible. For them, Jeremiah represents a future without regret, a love that doesn't need fixing. Episode 10 could be Belly's moment to step into something new, something less painful, and fans of Team Jerry are holding onto that hope. There are also theories beyond the love triangle. Some believe the ending won't focus on Belly choosing at all, but instead on her choosing herself. The trailer's shot of her sitting alone by the water has fueled speculation that this summer ends not with a declaration of love, but with a moment of self-discovery. Maybe the story isn't about who Belly ends up with, but about how she finally steps out of the triangle and defines her own path. This theory resonates deeply because it would flip the entire narrative, showing that sometimes the bravest choice is not between two people, but between who you've been and who you're becoming. And then there's the possibility of a bittersweet goodbye. Some fans believe episode 10 will mark the end of Cousins as we know it. The beach house, the late nights, the unspoken bonds, it all feels like it's slipping away in the trailer, as if the show is preparing us for a farewell. Maybe Belly will leave the summer behind, not just metaphorically, but literally, walking away from Cousins to face whatever comes next. If that happens, the finale won't just break hearts, it will remind viewers that no summer lasts forever. And that's what makes it unforgettable. The trailer gives us fragments, but fans are piecing them together into endless possibilities. That's the magic of this series. It doesn't give us clear answers, it lets us dream, argue, and wonder what it all means. And that's why episode 10 isn't just an ending. It's a conversation between the show, the characters, and every fan who sees a little piece of themselves in this story of love, grief, and growing up. Every summer ends, and that's what makes it unforgettable. The trailer for The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 Episode 10 isn't just teasing another episode, it's whispering to us that something is about to change forever. For Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah, this is the moment where the weight of their choices finally catches up with them. And for us, the fans who have followed every smile, every heartbreak, every storm on Cousins Beach, this is the moment we've been waiting for. But the truth is, this isn't only their story, it's ours too. Every viewer sees a reflection of themselves in this triangle, whether it's in the longing of first love, the comfort of a steady heart, or the strength it takes to finally stand alone. That's why this finale matters so much. It's not just about who Belly chooses, it's about what love means when you're growing up, and what you're willing to let go of when summer finally fades. So now the question turns to you. Who do you believe Belly will choose in episode 10, Conrad, Jeremiah, or herself? And more importantly, what do you think this ending will mean for the story we've all carried with us through every sunlit memory of Cousins Beach? Share your theories, your hopes, and even your heartbreak in the comments below. Because just like the characters, we're all standing on that shore, waiting to see what comes next. If this breakdown left you thinking about your own summer memories, or if you're counting the days until episode 10 drops, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive into the twists, turns, and emotions this series keeps delivering. And share this video with other fans because this finale deserves to be felt, debated, and remembered together. The summer may be ending, but the story isn't over. And when the final scene of episode 10 fades to black, one thing will be certain. The summer we turned pretty will be a summer we'll never forget. There's something haunting about the end of a summer. You never notice the last time you hear the waves, or the last sunset you watch from the porch, until it's gone. That's the unspoken truth. The summer I turned pretty has been reminding us all along. Moments slip away, and the people we love change with them. Episode 10 feels like the moment where this truth comes crashing down, not only for Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah, but for us too. What makes this finale so powerful isn't just a choice Belly has to make, it's the reminder that life is built on choices like these. Every small decision, every word said or unsaid, becomes part of the story we carry with us. And when we look back, years later, it isn't always the big events we remember, it's the fragile, fleeting moments that shaped who we became. Maybe that's why this story resonates so deeply. It's not just about teenage love or heartbreak, or even the bonds of family. It's about growing up, about learning that nothing stays the same, and about realizing that even the most perfect summer has an ending. And yet, those endings don't erase what came before, they make it meaningful. They remind us that beauty lives in the briefness of it all. So when the screen fades on episode 10, maybe the real question won't be who did Belly choose? Maybe it will be what did this summer teach us? That love can be messy and imperfect, that family can leave scars as well as memories, and that growing up means carrying both with you. The summer at Cousins will always belong to these characters, but in a way, it belongs to us too. And no matter how episode 10 ends, it will leave behind something more than answers. It will leave behind a feeling, the kind you can't shake, the kind that follows you long after the credits roll, the kind that reminds you of your own summers, your own first loves, your own goodbyes. Because in the end, The Summer I Turned Pretty isn't just a story you watch. It's a story you remember.